Hey there folks, welcome to this outside sunny vlog. I was going to do a standard vlog, but it's so gorgeous today that there is absolutely no way that I am sitting inside when I can be sitting outside having one of these fine flagons of ale, people. So I'm in the garden. You can see my little bistro setup that I've got going on. And the garden is just round here. And I thought, well, I was going to do a vlog just on God of War, what I'm thinking of it, how good is it, and just a short one with possibly a little bit of the footage that some of you will have seen me throw up last night, just a PS4 share. But anyway, I thought I would do it this way. It is a cheap little vlog. I'm doing it on my phone without setting up the camera and the mic and everything. Obviously that would be hard work outside. And I thought I would also, which is a non-gaming related thing, just show you my new guitar setup, because I have been for a very long time trying to learn guitar on and off, just strumming the basic sort of, 7-8 chords or whatever it is and singing songs to myself. But I finally invested some time into trying to get bar chords learned and all this sort of stuff and really cracking onto it. And my birthday is next Friday, so I treated myself last week to an amp for an electric guitar which I've had since I was 13 and never learned to play properly. And it was brought back to life by my dad. Bless him, brought it back to life for me. He took it to a shop called Frets up in Blackpool, and the guitar had been sat in attics and all sorts of storage rooms since I was 13. Didn't have any strings on it. I thought it was going to be warped and everything, but they brought it. I'll show you it in a bit. And they brought that back to life, and I've got a little setup just behind me here where I sit. I can actually look out into the garden, all my little guitar setups there with the 2CR. I might have shown this off in a little cheap vlog before, but I'll show off. Certainly haven't shown off the new setup with the electric guitar out and everything. So I now have 3 guitars, and I'll show them off to you in a little bit. So it's a nice place to actually stand, look out into the garden, and be able to strum away. And I can put my headphones on through the amp that I've bought myself as well, so I don't have to disturb neighbours and such like if I'm playing the electric, which is quite cool. But firstly, God of War, just a brief kind of... I mean, I've played it for maybe 3 hours maybe, and honest to God, and I've only just really started it really properly. It was all the intro stuff I've been doing. It immediately grabs you in, right? The menu is so, well, the sort of start of the game even just takes you straight in. Like, you just hit, yes, I want that, and on you go, straight into the game. And from that point on, it is just extremely seamless. And you've got Kratos and his son in this one. Right at the beginning, the mother's obviously died, and they go on this journey to take her ashes to a certain place. The young lad isn't ready to do it, but things kick off at the beginning of the game. That means Kratos has got to take him anyway. So there's an epic fight at the beginning of this game. It's like an end boss fight. It's absolutely awesome. It's really good fun, and it really makes you sweat a little bit as well. It was absolutely brilliant. There's a couple, I mean, you get to fight like a troll at the beginning, and then you get this other major fight right after it, pretty much, with not a creature, it's a person. But I don't want to spoil anything, but it is, honest to God, probably the best looking game I've seen so far on these consoles. And I mean, probably Gears of War 4 is a standout as well. I mean, that looked gorgeous in 4K. But on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's the best looking 4K experience I've seen so far. Absolutely stunning. And to take that in with what is already a story that's hooked me right in. The acting from the little lad is superb. The acting from the oh God, I've forgotten his name. The guy that's playing Kratos now, which is the guy that used to play Teal'c in Stargate SG-1, absolutely brilliant. And just everything from, like, the combat is so slick and awesome. I mean, you feel uber, and when you throw the axe, it's up to you to call it back. It just doesn't go like a boomerang and come back to you. So you have this power, you feel like you have this power over it, which is absolutely awesome. You've got a sort of lighter throw of it, which is sort of spins like a boomerang. You've got the almost tomahawk throw, which is the heavier throw, where you can hang on to it. There's a brilliant set of reasons to have to put the axe away in order to use your fists, because certain enemies aren't hurt by the axe. So you have to really mix it up. And as you go on, I mean, leveling up in this game seems to be taking quite a while. So, and I've heard that there's a good 25-hour worth of stuff to do in this game if you really look at it. There's a great way there's a great excuse for hunting for things, because there's so many like you need materials in order to upgrade your axe. You need materials to make things, new armor, all this sorts of stuff. But it's done in a very basic manner, so you don't have to worry too much about. You know, it's not like an RPG. It's just RPG element, almost a bit like, or very much like, The Last of Us sort of thing, where you're sort of collecting specific core elements, not lots of little pieces, just core elements, and then you will use those to build up. And there's loads of little hidden areas and pockets for you to find these things. So the areas is sort of just big enough to not make it lots of wandering around. Just look around every corner, smash everything. There's little puzzles to solve to open particular types of chests. Well, they're not really puzzles. You just have to you have to find the things and hit them. So there's all. I mean, there is actual puzzles to get. The clip I showed was using the axe to get through an area. So you throw the axe to block something, get through the area, call the axe back, and all this sort of stuff. It's really, really slick and really, really clever, and it is amazing fun. Like, I didn't want to put it down and go to bed last night. And the only reason I'm not playing it tonight is because sun, people, and flagons of ale. Come on, I'm going to have a sip of it while we're here. So, if anyone had any doubts about it, I spoke to LLC Cool J today. LL Cool JC, I can't remember which round it is now. You know who you are, LLC. And he was saying that he'd pre-ordered it and then held off because he had other stuff to play, but he's saving up for a Pro anyway. Now, I would say that that is a prime example of a game that if you are going to get a Pro, hold off and play it when you get it on the Pro, because when you play it in 4K, if you've got a 4K telly, obviously, if you play it in 4K, it's absolutely stunning, really stunning. It's got HDR elements. You asked at the beginning of the game whether you want to put the HDR on or off to make better use of it, and obviously I've got it turned on. The clip I showed you, obviously the PS4 share doesn't do HDR, so it's straight 1080p at that point. But even in 1080p it looks gorgeous, but it is stunning in 4K, I have to say. So yeah, I couldn't have more praise to give that game so far. I realise I'm only 3 hours in, but from what I've heard, it just gets better and better. I have to. It's so good, people. Honestly, if you had any doubts about this game or hadn't had any interest in God of War before, don't worry about it. It's a completely different kind of God of War game anyway. Totally story-driven, going through this world on this journey with the lad. The way that the lad interacts with him as well is brilliant. When you go to climb up stuff, he leaps on your back. When you go across ledges, you throw him up to places, he drops the, almost like the ladder drops you do in sort of Uncharted type stuff, or even The Last of Us. You command the lad to drop chains down for you to climb up and all this sort of stuff. Absolutely spot on, people. Brilliant. So, I think I might just spat at the camera there a little bit, people. Anyway, without further ado, let us have a quick look in, pan around the back of the things here, and I shall try and show you my little guitar setup here. God, there's a lot of sunshine blasting in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. So here's the garden. And then just down at the back here, we've got the new electric with... Let me see if I can get this right. We've got the new electric with the new... the old electric from 13 years ago, which was brought back to life. I'm going to try and get the camera in. Can't actually see for the sunshine. Oh, here we go. So... I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It was really shined up and brought back to life, and that's the brand new amp just behind it there, which has got USB type stuff on it. I'm going to try and get a close in of that amp. I can't flip the camera while I'm recording. It's got loads of different settings on it. It's 20 watt, I believe. There was a 40 watt version, but I really don't need it. And then on the other side, we've got the two acoustics, one of which is semi-acoustic, so that can plug into the amp, and then you've got the acoustic, which was quite a cheap one, which I started off with. I've had that for years, and that's what I learnt my basic chords on. My dad gave me this guitar not long ago because he got himself a new one for his 70th, and he always said I could have this one when he died because I loved it so much, but because he got a new one, he gave it to me while he was still with his people, which is quite nice. So there you are, and we've got, if we pan out, you can see the whole setup there. What I want for the back here is a nice big sort of musical type picture, which I haven't decided on yet. Maybe a canvas, a big canvas to go on that wall. And that's my little setup. And it's actually what would be a dining room for most people, because the kitchen, the garden, and then you've got the kitchen right behind it. So it's one big area. A little bit of Star Wars on the fridge here, people. So there you are. There you are, little something different, people, for this little vlog. I didn't want to go away, because it was sunny, I didn't want to sit inside and do the vlogs. I have to set everything up, bloody roasting in the house anyway. I thought, get in the garden, get the the bistro setup, people. The bistro. It looks really nice. Got the decking, and the decking goes down into the garden. Cut the grass last week, but it'll probably need another doing on Sunday. And there you go. Just looks out onto other houses, of course, but it's grand, people. It's grand. It's the first proper garden I've had to myself. It's always kind of been flats and stuff I've lived in up until now. So it's a nice little garden and castle of my own, people. And there you are. I won't ramble on much longer. I suspect the neighbours will come back and wonder why I'm talking to myself anyway. As it happens, they're not here at the moment. So there you are. I hope your Saturdays, or Fridays even, are as gorgeous as this, and that you're going to enjoy a couple of flagons in the sun, people. It has, as always, been an honour and... No, actually, before I go, I was thinking of doing some vlogs on how I'm progressing with my guitar, and possibly throwing up just how I feel like I'm getting on, what it is I'm trying to learn in order to get better, the sort of the videos that I've been watching on YouTube that have been trying to get me to do a little bit of solo type stuff, learning scales and all that sort of stuff, and just show you a little bit of what I'm learning. And who knows, if I feel confident enough in I mean, I do know some songs with the main chords. I mean, I can sing a number of songs away, but it'd be nice to be able to do, obviously, play something with the bar chords, with some solo work in there and some riffs. The riffs are the ones that I nailed down with the openings to songs and that sort of stuff as well. And at the moment I'm trying to get through the bar chords and learn the pentatonic E minor scale, which is the first one you're supposed to learn on the guitar to get a little bit of finger work going on, and learning the fretboards properly. So I'm fairly confident, but I thought it would be nice for... I realise I'm a gaming channel, but I don't want to start another channel just to do vlogs on some music. And don't worry, it'll be on top of any gaming stuff I do. But anyway, let me know if it's something that any of you might be interested in seeing me doing. There's plenty of guitar stuff out there already, but I thought it would just be nice to do personal vlogs on it to let people see what standard I was at and how long it took me sort of doing half an hour to an hour an evening of practice to get to another level of it, you know. So I feel like I've kind of got to that beginner level where I feel confident enough to play songs with all the basic chords. It's now progressing to more complex things. So anyway, let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm always going to be primarily a gaming channel, but I thought it would be nice to have a few vlogs like this that are a mix of the two, or do something of my journey with the guitars, now that I've got the new amp anyway. So there you are, just thought I'd throw that in at the end. It has been, as I was saying, an honour and a privilege serving for you again in this vlog of mine, and I shall see you all soon. Take it easy, folks. Bye.